And with that talent, this was a good barometer for what Joshua we were going to see. And now we get to see a Joshua that, hey, looks like things are coming together. With that being said, however, it's still not enough, in my estimation, for Wilder. Reason being is because of the fact that while the confidence is still there, it's still not fully there. Again, like I said, Robert Landis isn't a brother that should be taken lightly, even though he's not the cream of the crop in terms of heavyweight division. Still, if he lands on you, it's going to hurt. And he has the reach to get to you from deceptively long ranges. How was Joshua going to react to that? And what we saw, it still got to him. It still made him, to a degree, hold tentativeness in him. And as much as I've talked about him in terms of the good that we saw from Joshua in this fight, it is still, the tentativeness of Joshua is still present. It is still visible. It is still there. And it's still an issue that while he's overcoming it, he hasn't fully gotten out of it. He hasn't fully freed himself from that. He hasn't fully gotten himself out of holding back the trigger. He's still willing to pull the trigger now, in which at least the minimum, what I was asking for, at least be willing to pull it when he got somebody in trouble, which he was able to do when he backed up Robert Landis to the ropes and then wasn't afraid to throw the jab and then throw the right straight with all of his power behind it, and did that multiple times in the fight. It's still great to see, but he still has that tentative nature still ingrained in him that he hasn't yet gotten out of. You see, Teddy Atlas was saying it best. The tentativeness of Joshua is still there. Some people were just calling it, he's just being cerebral. He was just out thinking. No, he wasn't out thinking Elanius, even though, yes, he was thinking in the ring. That tentativeness and that fear of getting caught was still there. And when he did get caught, finally, we saw it all load back on him for a moment. All of it. Stopped dead in his tracks, put his guard up, didn't even stop moving his head anymore. And was very slow to start moving forward again inside the ring. That is the issue that Joshua still hasn't gotten over. That's the monkey he hasn't gotten off his back. That's the weight. That's the chip on his shoulder. That is the main problem with Joshua, that while he is fighting through, he has not gotten over. And if he does not get over it, he will lose to Deontay Wilder. It's just the truth. Yes, can he knock out Wilder? Absolutely he can. He's got the power to do it. If Fury was able to do it, and he was able to do it, he had to again get to 280, 270, and then 280 in the next fight to be able to knock out Deontay Wilder. Joshua has more power than Fury. Joshua can definitely knock out Deontay Wilder. Absolutely he can. Joshua's more athletic, so he can be able to take advantage of the weaknesses in Deontay Wilder's game. Absolutely, just like Fury did. Absolutely. The issue is confidence. Of course, yes, we already know his chin is suspect. If Wilder catches him clean, it's over. It's done. It's going to be. That's it. It's going to be a bomb. It's going to be over. Done. If Joshua gets caught clean by that right hand at any point in time, the fight's going to be over immediately. Immediately. But the problem is with everything that Joshua can do against Wilder, he can outbox him because he is a better boxer. He's got the ability to knock him out. He's athletic enough to be able to combat Wilder's own athleticism. He's got enough strength and mass on him to do the same tactics that Fury did on Wilder, because that is a game plan that actively works. It's dangerous, but it works. The issue is, if you are not confident enough to be able to do said things, you have no shot against Wilder. See, here's the thing about Wilder that many people may not understand. The absolute confidence in himself and in that right hand has won him so many fights. So many fights. And the lack of confidence by his opponents, even in the slightest, due to what can potentially happen, come back at them, with Deontay Wilder having the greatest right hand that boxing has ever seen, that inkling of doubt is all Wilder needed to take advantage of every opponent's weakness. Washington knocked him out. Berman Stavern Faced him once. They went to, I believe, was it split or unanimous decision? And the second time knocked him out clean. In that viral clip of him carrying the ref on his back, literally. Knocked him out. Tyson Fury, he knocked down, but he was able to get up. And it shook him. The reason being is because he had never seen somebody have the legitimate, outright insane confidence to say, even if you catch me, it's not going to put me under. Luis Ortiz, outside of Fury, is the second closest opponent to have beaten Deontay Wilder. Absolutely. Absolutely is. Because he had him hurt in his first fight, and in the second fight, outboxed him all 7 or all 9 rounds before he got caught. And in both instances, a brief moment of hesitation caused them to get knocked out. Caused him to get knocked out. So brief. A brief moment of hesitation and fear in what's coming back at them, and a lack of confidence in, okay, I just need to make sure I do this and I'm good, ended the night for Luis Ortiz. Second fight, when he outboxed him, kept coming forward with the jab, doing similar things that Fury did when he fought him, keeping Wilder on the back foot, making sure that he wasn't able to get any forward momentum, being again defensively sound, but never allowing Wilder to have the ability to pinpoint a good time to land that right hand, keeping the jab in front of him, being aggressive, did all that right. But the second he got turned to the ropes after an exchange and was hesitant because of what could have come back at him with the right hand, boom. Wilder picked up on it, caught him just like that. One punch, done. After being dominated the whole fight. After Ortiz dominated that entire fight, one shot due to a hesitation in the mind of Ortiz ended the night for him. Fury's been the only guy that hasn't let hesitation stop him from doing what needs to be done. He was fully confident when he boxed Wilder, and he was fully confident when he brawled Wilder. 100%. In both instances, he was absolute confident in what his abilities were. And there was no hesitation to him. None. Everything he did was deliberate, and he did not let his inhibitions or let his hesitancy cloud the actions needed to take place, which is why against Wilder, you got to fight essentially the perfect fight in order to be able to last, to let alone beat him. And Fury was able to do it by, again, not letting a lack of confidence or a hesitancy due to the power mitigate what he needed to do. He willingly took the fight to Fury, or to Wilder, in the second and third fight. Didn't let the power phase him at all. Committed to being the aggressor, committed to bullying. And then in the first fight, he committed to boxing. He committed to say, okay, I can slip. I don't got to hesitate. I know I can get out the way. So let me just get out the way. There's no fear of what's coming back to me. It's just a matter of doing what needs to be done. That is the mindset. Brawling Wilder is the best. Hence, Fury took advantage of that. But in both styles of fighting that he fought Wilder, he was absolutely confident. Absolutely confident. There was nothing. It is an insane level of confidence that Fury has in him. Otherworldly. Absolute. It's maddening. Legitimately maddening. Almost unfathomable. The commitment to say, there's nothing that anybody can do that can push me off my track of what I want to do. There is no fear, there is no hesitation, there is none of that. That type of mentality you saw fully in all the times that Fury fought Wilder. As opposed to every other opponent, there has always been a point in the fight where you can look and see there was a hint of hesitancy, if not all outright loss of confidence and outright fear. Because Wilder is a scary man. Incredibly insane and scary power puncher. Joshua doesn't have that same level of confidence that Fury has in him. He just doesn't. He hasn't fortified that mental aspect of his game yet. And as we saw in the Helenius fight, with everything that he did that was good, it was still, he was getting hesitant. When he did get caught, when something big was thrown back at him, even when he did break through, if he got caught with a good shot like he did against Hellenius, you saw it rush back in. And then slowly throughout the fight, it dissipated more and more. But you saw the full range of tentativeness come back in. You saw it all. It's still there. It hasn't gone away. It hasn't rectified itself. It's still a problem that Joshua has to fight against. And against Wilder, if he doesn't get that same insane level of confidence to him, there is no way in the world that I can see Joshua beating Wilder. There's none. I know it's absolutely possible. I just also know, based on what we see with Joshua right now, even with all the tools that I praised him for and the improvements that he had legitimately done in his fighting style, it's still not enough, because the mental aspect of this game of boxing, it's so important. It can make or break fighters, literally. And Joshua was broken. And ever since then, he has been slowly but surely looking to pick up the pieces and retool his mental state. And we've seen it gradually get more and more and more put together, but it's still missing pieces. And it's still vulnerable to the point that if something good gets landed clean on Joshua, it'll shatter all over again. That's what we're seeing from Anthony Joshua. Yes, his punches now have conviction. Yes, we see the danger in his punches back again. Yes, he's finally gotten a knockout for the first time in however many fights for Joshua, which is phenomenal. We see semblances of the old Joshua. We see a Joshua that has returned to form in some capacities, and in some capacities is even better. But though some may be better, the worst is still the worst. And the worst has not been corrected and has not been attended to in the manner that it needs to be. It's a slow process when it comes to the mental game of boxing for some boxers. For some people, it's a flip of a switch, and next thing you know, they're a different animal. But the ability to be able to have that mentality, that championship mentality, it's something that's hard to get, but it's easy to lose. And with Joshua, he had it, and then he lost it. Now he's trying to make it again and evolve it. But before you can evolve, you got to fully become. And he hasn't fully become confident yet. We just see that there is confidence that is back. He's learned the tools. He's applying the tools. He's getting better as a boxer, but he hasn't fully gotten better as a thinker. He hasn't gotten there in the mental mind. The mental game, he is still trying to get up from Andy Ruiz. Physically and boxing skill, he's adapted. Mentally, he is still getting up while the ref is counting to 10. Ever since Andy Ruiz, he's been struggling to get back up from being knocked down mentally. And it's been a slow process seeing him get up. But now, even though we're seeing progress, the ref's count is at 8. And at the count of 10, you got to face Deontay Wilder. That's what the end of the road is. That's what the end of the count is. At the count of 10, you got to face Deontay Wilder. And if you are not up by the count of 10, in your mental mind, in your confidence, up here and in here, in your heart, as well as in your head, you are going to lose the fight and you're going to get counted out. And what does counted out mean mentally? It means getting knocked out by Wilder physically.